typewriters, as well as a cross-section of members of the public. A most distressing subject was brought to my attention. Did you know that in Nigeria today, children learning business studies in secondary schools are forced to learn with the use of typewriters? Secondary schools in Nigeria today that wish to teach the subject of business studies, whether private schools or public schools, to get accreditation to teach that subject have to own typewriters. This is a cause for serious concern. Unless you've been in a coma for several decades, you will be aware, just like I am, that typewriters have no place in the modern place of work. They have no place in businesses today. In February 1980, the then president of Apple Computers, a global company that produces iPhones and other products which all of us use today, sent an internal memo to all staff declaring the end of the use of typewriters in that company. In 2012, a BBC writer, Jerry Holt, published and he said, "This is the end of an era." He was talking about the last typewriter that was being rolled out of the production chain of a typewriter production company in the United Kingdom. It is notable that that typewriter was donated to the London Museum of Science. Typewriters today have been confined to a place of history. They feature only in museums, private collections of antiques, and as props for movies. Yet, our children are learning with typewriters the subject of business studies. Other children around the world, from China, the United States, Germany, and other modern economies, are learning robotics and different science subjects and technology subjects that are preparing them for real impact in today's world as well as for future readiness. Our children are being forced to learn business studies with typewriters. This should agitate any Nigerian who is hearing this news. And this is not the first time that a subject like this has been brought up. In 2016, a concerned Nigerian parent wrote an article in the Nation newspaper confronting this particular problem. Children were forced in 2016 to go around looking for typewriters to rent to write their examinations. Fast forward to 2019, the last Basic Examination Council exam, Becker exams required children to go and find typewriters to write their business studies subject. In 2019, we have failed to address this problem, and because of this failure, our children are not being equipped for the future. With typewriters, will children learn, if it's business studies that truly they are required to learn, will children learn how to create relevant documents for business, PowerPoint presentations, Excel documents, basic information charts, graphs, and different, relevant key information documents that businesses thrive on today? No. So who exactly are we producing workers for? Does Nigeria have a parallel economy where we have different industries that still rely on typewriters, where we will employ these children of who are the future workers into? If we intend our children to compete in the 21st century global economy, then what are we doing by allowing this trend to continue? Whether you are a parent, a school child, an education provider, an employer of labor, whether you're a member of, the media, or you're an ordinary Nigerian who people will depend on and people already depend on because they lack jobs, this matter should concern you. You need to share this video. Right now, this is an open call to the Honorable Minister of Education to immediately end the use of typewriters as a standard for accreditation for business subjects to be taught in our secondary schools. Typewriters have no place featuring in the education sector. This is a sector that needs a complete overhaul from its foundations. But let us begin with getting typewriters thrown out of that sector. There should no longer be the use of typewriters in our classrooms and in our schools today, except the typewriters that are used for the visually impaired, which is not even a regular typewriter, it's a braille equipment. Children have no business using typewriters if they are to compete for work in today's century and if they are to have future readiness. Let's do our duty by our children today. Over 30 million Nigerian school children rely on us to act responsibly and to act now. Thank you.